I'm Phil Nee with sports. Richland Center and River Valley battled in WIAA tournament soccer opening action last night, with River Valley winning 2-1. The Blackhawks went up early in that one last night, and it was 1-0 at halftime, and then the match was delayed twice because of lightning in the area. River Valley scored a second and final goal of the game. The Hornets had many scoring opportunities, according to Coach Tom Stadler, and many passing combinations led by their seniors. The team never gave up. The last goal came from sophomore defender Harrison Carpenter. Harrison's hustle and great touch led to his goal. He sprinted from one end of the field to the other, and it resulted in a goal. And Coach Stadler says another great year for Hornets soccer, with 9 players receiving all conference awards this year. We'll have more on that in the coming days. But River Valley now moves on after a 2-1 win over Richland Center. On Saturday, they will face St. John's Northwestern Chesterton Academy of Milwaukee after their 6-0 victory against Columbus yesterday. Elsewhere, Lake Country Lutheran 9-0 over Mauston. Aquinas beat Northland Lutheran 2-1. In Division 3, Wisconsin Dells defeated Dodgeville Mineral Point 6-1, and it was Delavan Darien 1-0 over Mount Horeb. Also a McFarland win 4-0 over Monroe. Turning to volleyball, it was an exciting one last night, heard on WRCO between the Hornets and Luther.
Zola Ewing will serve. Hornet fans are on their feet. Ewing with the serve, fielded now by Luther. There's the set by Zittel. Shot by Clark. Back row Hornets, Ewing. There's the set. Shot over the top by Tidrick. Diving dig by Luther, and they can't get it over, and the Hornets win. The Hornets survive. 15-6. The final. Richland Center wins in 5 sets.
After winning the first set quickly, 25-14, Richland Center then lost the next two by scores of 25-15 and 25-23. They got back on track against the Knights and claimed a 25-19 win in set 4, and they took the fifth 15-6. The win was Richland Center's 30th on the season. It sends them to Saturday night's regional championship match against Aquinas. Senior Soleil Ewing led with 16 kills on the night. Junior Danica Pauls had 5 ace serves. The senior leadership came through for Richland Center as Lillian Tidrick, along with Chloe Darling, Ava Cosgrove, Madeline Huber, and Carly Meaden, all came through big time. I asked Carly what Coach Jamie Johnson told the team when they were down by 2 sets.
He just said we just got to all come together as a team, and we're not going to do it if we don't play as a team. That's the only way.
Carly talked about this year's Hornet volleyball team.
I just love how we all have such a good friendship, and no one really has a grudge against anyone on this team. We just play so well together, and we get along well, and it helps. It really does.
Senior Soleil Ewing talked about the win for us.
We came into the game, 4 and 5 seed. It was going to be a tough game, but I think our team really pulled through and finished it how we should.
I asked Soleil about preparing for Aquinas.
I think we just need to really lock in at our practice tomorrow and watching film and just being us, not letting the nerves and realizing that the pressure's on them. They're the number 1 team in Division 3 and their home game. So I think if we just come in and play us, we'll be okay.
Luther saw its season end at 18-13. They were led by seniors Maggie Bettine and Sienna Horstman last night. Following the 5-set win, Richland Center plays in lacrosse Saturday night at 7. Aquinas enjoyed their second-round win in 4 sets over Darlington. In other action last night, Dodgeville ended the year for River Valley 3-1. They advanced in the tournament, and Cuba City was a 3-1 winner over Viroqua. In Division 2, Platteville was a winner against Lodi, 3-1. West Salem ended the year for Reedsburg, 3-1. Mount Horeb over Portage, 3-0. Edgewood beat the Dells, 3-0. In Division 4, Brookwood swept Kickapoo, ending the year for the Panthers. It was also Cashton 3-2 over Fenimore. Hillsborough swept Southwestern, and Mineral Point over Wisconsin Heights in 3. Turning to Division 5 last night, 3-0 Barneveld over Blackhawk. Pecatonica beat Argyle 3-1. Belmont swept Potosi. Shullsburg 3-2 over Monticello. It was Royal 3-2 over DeSoto. Highland swept Wazeeka Steuben. Seneca 3-2 over Waniwak Center. Seneca was up 2-0 in that one and then had to come back and fight for the victory. They advanced to take on the Ithaca Bulldogs on Saturday night. The Bulldogs were winners 25-19. It was the first win for the Bulldogs, and then North Crawford won the second 25-23. Ithaca won the third 25-14, and the Bulldogs won the fourth 28-26. The Bulldogs and Seneca tomorrow night in the regional championship match at Ithaca. And now football going on this weekend. WIAA tournament football. The Richland Center Hornets are in the playoffs, and they are playing tonight at Darlington. I talked to head coach Andrew Troxel about last week's win over Broadhead Judah that got them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was very pleased. I mean, we knew that it was going to be competitive going into the Broadhead game, but, I mean, to come out and just be dominant right out of the gates like that, kind of took us back just a little bit. I mean, that's a testament to our boys and how hungry they are to just be in the playoff field. So, I mean, the last 3 weeks of playing like that, right now kind of hitting the pinnacle and hitting our stride is looking really promising, as we go into week one of the playoffs.
The Hornets get ready for the matchup tonight at Darlington.
That's a very storied program with a lot of success, and especially after last year, with a state runner-up in D6, I mean, they're looking to get back to Camp Randall by any means necessary. And so we know that we've got our work cut out for us. That, I mean, they're very aggressive, up front. Their offensive line and D-line are dominant, and then they've got, at least 3 skill guys, that have put up some major yardage for them this season. So, looking in the mirror kind of a little bit in the last couple of weeks. So we've found some tendencies and some things that we think that we can really work with as we kind of go down to Darlington. I think we can gash them here and there. It just depends on, can we put that together and last for 4 quarters.
Richland Center at Darlington among the first-round playoff football games tonight. Southwestern East Dubuque, Illinois plays Prairie du Chien at Prairie as well in Division 5. Looking at the D6 lineup, Mineral Point is at Cuba City and Westby at Lancaster among the matchups, and several in the area in Division 7. Bangor, a number 1 seed, hosting number 8 Iowa Grant. It's also River Ridge traveling to Cashton. Potosi Cassville takes on Blackhawk Warren in a rematch of last week's conference championship game. Wazeeka Steuben Seneca plays at Cochrane Fountain City. Hillsboro's on the road at Cambria Friesland. Johnson Creek the site for 7th seed Royal, and number 3 Ithaca hosts number 6 Randolph. I asked co-head coach David Klang what the team works on during playoff week.
Kind of staying with our routine, and it's been working all year, and so we kind of want to stay within our routine for every week that we have been. And just kind of fine-tuning everything, fixing things up, making sure that if we saw something or didn't like something on film from the previous weeks that we're adjusting to it now so it doesn't become a glaring issue in the playoffs, and just kind of sticking with that routine and making sure everybody knows their role and what they're supposed to do on each play.
I asked David what the team expects from Randolph.
They're a very finesse team, and they have a lot of good options. They're going to kind of run their triple option at us and try to get to the edge. They like to be able to establish that edge on their run. They'll be able to throw the ball too, but they really want to establish the run off their jet sweeps. And then they have a quarterback that he likes the ball in his hands, and he's going to be the one that's going to be doing most of the work for them. And so if we can control that, keeping them from getting outside and containing the quarterback, we should be pretty well off.
That game kicks off at 7 tonight at Ithaca. It should be a good one. We'll have it for you on FM 100.9 and WRCO.com. In Division 4 tonight, Wisconsin Dells is at Lodi, and West Salem will host Platteville among the games. In Division 3, it's Reedsburg hosting Whitnall, and Sauk Prairie at Mount Hora-Barneveld. Bowling scores from the Coffee Clutch League. The spare parts team had a 1780, ILK 1764, the Pin Pals a 1747, Three Aces a 641, spare parts a 633 and a 609 game, and ILK of 595. Cheryl McNerlin of 553, Judy Skelly of 454 series, Pat Adams the third best score at 450. Top game, Cheryl McNerlin a 187 and a 186. Judy Skelly a 184, and Pat Adams a 176. Judy Skelly and Cheryl McNurlin each had 310 split pickups in the Coffee Clutch League. And from All-Star Bowling last night, Lonesome Dove Tavern had a 29-12, Advanced Pump and Well with a 28-87, Culligan 2801, Lonesome Dove Tavern a 1088, TKO Barbecue at 1029, Advanced Pump and Well at 1012. Greg Shep had the top series, 657. Jake Morris, 654. Mike Morris, 115 over average with a 652. Elijah Cannon led with a high game of 268. Casey Ewing at 267. Jake Morris, 261. Fred Kepler bowled a 613, 115 over average, and Jeremy Strube bowled a 615, 102 over average in the All-Star League. The number 8 Wisconsin volleyball team put up 14 blocks as the Badgers took down Indiana 25-23, 25-18, 25-13 last night. Cece Crawford led the team with 8 blocks, and Anna Smrek tallied 7 blocks. The next action for the Badgers, they'll remain on the road to play number 10 Purdue Saturday afternoon starting at 2:30. Last night in the NFL, the Rams got by Minnesota 30-20, and in college football, number 19 Pittsburgh over Syracuse 41-13. The Bucks get back to action tonight as they will take on the Chicago Bulls. It's Milwaukee's home opener this evening. We'll have more on WRCO Sports a little bit later on, more local sports, and, of course, the Badgers playing Saturday night on WRCE, FM 107.7 and AM 1450 as they take on Penn State in the homecoming football game. That pregame time tomorrow at 4:30. Packer football, 10 o'clock for pregame on FM 100.9 on Sunday afternoon. I'm Phil Neve for WRCO Sports.